Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem RICANS, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, and shalom to my Akim, YAHAWAH, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this vile captivity. This is Brother Kawakau coming at you with another lesson, James chapter 4, verse 15, for that we ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. And basically, today's lesson is going to be entitled, be patient, okay, because it's actually that simple in terms of be patient. Now, funnily enough, I actually was going to say this in a previous lesson, and I think I did say it partially in another lesson, but I genuinely feel, I can feel the sensation, I can feel like the sixth sense, the spirit of YAHAWASHI basically telling me, no, not even telling me, okay, I think it's more than just telling me, but yes, it is telling me, but at the same time, it's like I can feel the Lord like putting that spirit of mirth, of not just mirth, Slakia, not mirth, but righteous mirth, that spiritual mirth, that mirth from Yahawah, not that mirth from the world or Esau, Edom, all right? I feel that mirth on its way to bless not just me, all right, and not just my household, but my Slakia, let me rephrase that. My household, in the sense of the household of Yahawah, okay, that is what I feel. I genuinely feel that, and that's why I want to make this lesson, because obviously there's people that feel like, oh yeah, I don't want to get my hopes up, so I want to expect. Expect the worst, hope for the best and whatnot, and that is that's a proper way to think and feel. But at the same time, what Yahawashi basically practiced and taught and actually lived, all right, how he lived was in a sense of he lived knowing that he's gonna suffer and not thrive in this lifetime. As a matter of fact, he gave up his wealth of being the carpenter's son and whatnot. He gave up his wealth in order to live the life fully dedicated to Yahawah, which is what we also have to be doing as well. But basically, he gave up that life of wealth because he knew that in the kingdom it was where the mirth and the wealth was going to be at. All right, and that's where also our wealth is going to be as well. And I say that I feel it in my spirit how the blessing for not just me. Again, I can't stress this enough, but not just me. It's also for all the household of faith, the household of Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahushai is also on its way to be receiving blessings, okay? And the reason why I say this is, again, it's just a feeling that I have, as well as, prayer and, constantly trying to occupy myself with Yahawadah, where we are going to soon see the thing. And the thing is, one thing is that we have to acknowledge and be able to understand that we have to be patient. We have to be patient, okay? The key thing is patience in it, because so many times people, which I did a lesson on this before, so many times people get things twisted and think, okay, well, I want to do what I want to do right now. I want to do this, that, and the third, whatever. All right. And they are too focused on the immediate gratification for certain things, rather than just sitting down and waiting and struggling and going through the hardships that the Lord puts you in. Okay. And as well as understanding, because the thing is, during the up and coming hardships, okay, further hardships that are reserved for 2/3, as well as Esau Edom, okay, especially Esau Edom with the economic crash and whatnot. You want to be taken care of during that time. And the thing is, let me get this in Luke chapter 6 Luke chapter 6 verse 24. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Okay, this is anyone that's thriving right now. You have to understand that there is a balance to things. The Lord is a God of balance. All right, as well as a God of love, hate, war, all that stuff like that. He's a just God with balance. So if someone is living in their what's that shit called, their oversized, overglorified mansion, all right, with more space that they will ever need in their lifetime, all right, they're living it up right now. Okay, the Lord is going to flip things around. He's going to turn things right side up, where the people that were last, let me get that Matthew chapter 20 verse 16. So the last shall be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few are chosen. So the people that are at the bottom, okay, they're going to be at the top, and the people that are at the top are going to be at the bottom. And you have this paradigm shift, all right, where we in our struggles we will soon be thriving, all right. Now also Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. And the thing is, there's so many people think, okay, well, I'm not living a proper life, I'm not living a nice life, a comfortable life, this, that, and third, whatever. I'm always uncomfortable, I'm always struggling and whatnot. So as a result of that, they think, okay, well, let me just go and do the evil things so I can get ahead in life. Let me go do this, let me go be a demon, all right, where that's not going to get you ahead with YAHAWAH, all right, which is what we need to have our priorities set, because that's what YAHAWASHI did, where he abandoned a life of wealth for a life of poverty, in order quote unquote poverty, where in actuality it wasn't actually poverty. It was just anytime he actually needed food, he would just ask the Lord to get him some, and the Lord would provide. All right. So as a result of that, that is the Slaki. That's the life that we need to be in the spirit of living. Where, let me get this, Proverbs chapter 30 verse 8. For remove far from me vanity and lies, give me neither poverty nor riches, feed me with food convenient for me, where we get the stuff that we need. We get what we only get what we need. We don't get surplus or access. All right, access. All right, and the Lord, make sure that we are within our needs. Maybe sometimes you might get a little bonus. You're gonna get a little extra. The Lord might be helping you in a little extra in some ways and stuff like that, and that's fine. That's fine as well. But ultimately, the main thing is that sometimes you're not gonna be living the lavish lifestyle. All right, and that's fine. That is fine. All right. So yeah. So basically, this is the thing where now as a messenger, I pray that this message hits to where it needs to be. Lord willing, we are Yahweh Ratazah, which basically means Yahweh, and then Ratazah means willing. Okay, that we have some good news to expect soon in terms of maybe judgment on Esau, Edom, judgment on Babylon and stuff like that. Some actual definitive this is it type of stuff. All right. Next, let's go. Did I read this? Yeah, Proverbs 14 verse 12. There is a way which seem right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Okay, so yes, there are going to be some ways that might seem, oh yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, blah blah blah, but it's not the right way. Also, Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 11, envy not the glory of the sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. All right, this is another thing where we are not supposed to be envying or being jealous of the wicked or a 2/3 nigga that has that's rich and whatnot. We're supposed to just say, okay, you know what, the Lord the Lord made my lot to be, in poverty or in whatever, not having a lot of things. You know what? I'm just gonna accept that, and then I'm gonna wait for the Lord to bless me properly, because I know I have faith that the Lord. As a matter of fact, let's read that. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to us word, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. And the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, meaning that he told us that we are going to have our own houses, we're going to have our own mansions. Slack it, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. The Lord did not say we're going to have our own houses. Let me get that. The Lord promised, okay, we're not going to get our own houses, okay. John chapter 14 verse 2, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you, I go to prepare a place for you. Meaning that the Lord is going to provide each and every single one of us, okay. So let's say you have a freaking 2-year-old kid, all right. You have a 2-year-old child, all right. That little 2-year-old child's going to have their own freaking mansion, all right, free of charge, gratis of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. That's how good we're gonna have it. All right. So you're gonna have authority over all that type of stuff and all the blessings. Okay. That's why you have to trust in the Lord and be patient. Key word being patient and know and trusting that Yahawah Yahawashi got you at the end of the day. All right. So yes, this is a very important thing, and I really pray that this lesson reaches to them that it needs to hear. All right, because I know it's tough. It definitely is tough. I struggle myself. All right, but I'm trying my best to try to uplift, build brothers up in the faith, and to know that things. The fuck? Bear with me one moment. All right, Slakia. Basically, yeah. To just to further solidify, yeah, like this is the type of stuff that we look forward to. Where I have to let the brotherhood know, okay, being a messenger, that this is what we have to look forward to. This is where the Lord is going to bless us, okay, very, very soon. Yahawadah. All right, sooner than we expect, sooner than we think. All right, and sooner than we think. Okay, and it's just a matter of time. It's only a matter of time until we're going to be blessed. Okay, we are. As a matter of fact, let me get that right quick. All right, that's in Deuteronomy chapter 28. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 2, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power. Okay, so if you are obeying the words of Yahawadah Yahawashi, all right, then that's when you're going to be blessed. That's when you're going to be blessed with more than you need, more than that which is necessary. All right. So yeah, basically it's just Yahawadah, a faith booster. All right. Yahawadah, I pray this was faith booster, and lets you know that you keep on struggling. Okay, keep on struggling, keep on pushing, and that very soon you're gonna be blessed. And we also get this, 1 Corinthians 4 verse 16. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, while we look not at the things which are seen, but the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Okay, and that's another thing where I honestly pray to Yahawadah MANASHAH that He does not take away His Holy Spirit from me. I don't care that I'm trying my best to to do lessons and stuff like that. I put this new obligation on myself where I have to do I have to upload 2 videos a day. All right, I did that because I'm trying my best to stay in the faith, stay in the truth. Okay, I felt like doing one video a day. Yes, it was good in a sense, and I think what's his name, Elder Apostle Tahar, even said you should be doing a video a day if you can. All right, and I thought, yeah, okay, so then I'm doing it. I'm doing the stuff. I'm already at that benchmark. But then it's like, for me personally, I felt like I look at other brothers. I genuinely look at other brothers, and I feel like, yo, these brothers are like their job is this truth. Their obligation, not even just obligation. All right, forget obligation. That's a terrible word. But their life is this truth, and because of that, I felt like, you know what? I feel like this is just something I do and I'm done with the day, and then like I'm done. I'm free for the rest of the day outside of any other obligations I have. Okay, it's like I just feel like it's just an obligation, and I wanted to change that. So that's why I added more. Okay, so that's why if you see like, yeah, I may just do I may let's say for example I upload a 20-minute video. Okay, then after I upload that 20-minute video, I do, okay, so let me edit this if there's need to be editing, because I always have to edit all the videos to make sure the sound is good. And then let's say at most it takes like 30 minutes to upload one video. Okay, because regardless of if the video is like 20 minutes, okay, there's still the time of I have to go to do all this other stuff, audio correction, any little additions and stuff like that may happen, because it doesn't, which is not, it's rare, but yeah. So let's just say like 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so let's just say a 20-minute video, 5 to 10 minutes, so let's say minimum 25. Okay, so it takes me 25 minutes for a video. Okay, so it's that plus any additional stuff that I do, like studying every day, going into the Paleo Hebrew, and this is, I'm not trying to make this to like, honestly it does this, that's what it sounds like, but I'm trying to like set a benchmark to provoke brothers to follow after my example, follow after and do the exact same thing, because we should all be in the spirit of making this our not obligation. Okay, Slack it. Remove that thing out of your mind. You can't be just doing this because you're obligated to. You should be doing this because of your love for Yahawadah, and like this is important to you. Okay, it's not just important I'm doing my part. Okay, or I'm doing this enough in order to make the brothers leave me alone, or make other brothers leave me alone, or make the commands that I need to do. Yeah, I'm getting by, but if you can do more, and it's more, it's in your spirit to do more, then do more. All right, and I feel like, okay, maybe if more time goes, which Yahawadah doesn't. Okay, if more time goes, or maybe down the line, I'll change, and maybe I'll upload 3 videos a day. And the reason for that is because I really want to feel like I am doing my part in like trying to be locked in with Yahawadah and having Him see me as an actual like asset, an actual helper, actual servant, an actual son that actually loves and cares and is willing to sacrifice a lot for him. All right. So this is what I do, just to let any brother or know, this is that there could never be, there can never not be enough of what you can do and how you can contribute to YAHAWAH as well as the ministry. All right. Putting your best foot in for Yahweh. All right. Showing your love for YAHAWAH. All right. So yes, we're going to keep on pushing. We got to keep on having faith, and very soon, we're going to get the blessing. We're going to see the rewards for it. Okay, Yahweh Ratazah. I cannot stress that enough. Yahweh Ratazah. Okay, you gotta remember it. And you should get into the habit of saying Yahweh Ratazah as well, because that's basically what we say whenever you say, "Oh, I want to go to the park tomorrow morning." All right. Well, you say Yahweh Ratazah because you never know that if the Lord's going to take your life before then, or the Lord's going to make it rain or anything like that. Okay, so that's the thing. So even though we want certain things, yes, we just have to say, okay, you know what? It's not up to us. It's not up to us. And that's another thing. I guess let's get into it right quick. I really want. Metaphorically, I really want this Ferrari. I don't actually want a Ferrari, but I'm just giving you an example in terms of like what a brother might want in terms of like now, but the Lord's not blessing you with it because you may not be ready for it. All right. So let's say a Ferrari. Okay. Well, it's not good because the parts to said car, it is not available in my area. Okay, I would have, in order to get it fixed, should a problem arise, I need to order it. I have to have it get ordered and sent to my mechanic in order to get the stuff fixed. So then I won't have the stuff and I acknowledge this. I know this, but it's still like, man, I have this strong desire to get that Ferrari. I really want that Ferrari. Please, can I get this Ferrari? You keep on asking and begging, and that's why what we need to do is we need to Matthew chapter 26 verse 39. Okay, and he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "Oh my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt." All right, so when we pray, we need to be praying to asking the Lord. When we ask for something, we can't be just saying, "I want this, please just give me this, just give me this, give me this." All right, because the thing is that you might ask for something and then the Lord gives it to you, but it's not what you wanted. Okay, and you might suffer as a result of you getting it prematurely when the Lord was not ready to bless you with it. All right, so yes, you might be saying, "Oh, I really want that Ferrari." All right, but maybe the Lord's going to push you to live in a right place, okay, where they're going to have the parts, they're going to have the parts, and you're going to be able to have the stuff or some sort of alternative, whatever. All right. The thing is that we don't know. The Lord's thoughts are not our thoughts. All right. Let me get that just for the sake of it. Isaiah chapter 55 verse 8, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord." Okay, we don't know how the Lord thinks. We don't know how the Lord sets things out to be. So, we might want something. Okay, I really want that Ferrari. That's so nice, so cool, it's so this and the third, blah blah. But it's not up to us to decide if we are able to have it or not. It's up to YAHAWAH that we are able to take it or to get it or not. Okay, so that's why you have to really have to acknowledge sometimes that what, I understand that maybe now it's not the time, but you're still able to ask for something, ask for it, but you have to understand that don't just ask for it in the sense of Yahawadah, just give me this and a third, I'll take all the problems and stuff like that. No, that's actually very foolish. I highly recommend you do not do or ask in that way. What I do recommend is instead of begging and asking the Lord to just give it to you right now, just say if through your will, and then constantly just be patient and constantly trust that YAHAWAH will in fact give it to you when you are ready, and not just because you asked for it that you're going to immediately get it. All right, and this is again the important things that we need to kind of realize and acknowledge, that sometimes the Lord is not, the Lord says things, the Lord determines that we are not ready to receive certain things. We are not ready to receive certain blessings. We're not ready to handle certain things. So then that's why we need to be like, okay, you know what? It is up to the Lord. We just have to keep on pushing and suffering in our captivity until the Lord determines that we are ready to be blessed. All right, let's actually get this to support that. Sirach chapter 2 verse 1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart right, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. We need to be patient when we are in a lower state, when we are in these hard times. We're suffering, we're struggling. Yes, we need some love, we need some this, we're deprived from whatever. Okay, we still have to say, okay, you know what? Let's just wait. Let me just let the Lord handle it. Let the Lord, guide me to, making the best choices. Let the Lord guide me into being blessed. Let the Lord guide me into pushing through, even in spite of the struggles that we're going through. All right, so that when the time comes, all right, the Lord will. So when the time comes, the Lord will, He will happily bless us with that which we wanted and more. All right. As a matter of fact, let me get that. King Solomon. No, I think it was King David. King David. Blessings and I would have given you. I would. All right, Second Samuel chapter 12 verse 8. And I gave thee thy master's wives into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. We would have even had even more. So let's also read this in the NLT. I gave you your master's house and his wives and the kingdoms of Israel and Judah. And if that had not been enough, I would have given you much, much more. All right. So the Lord wants to give us and bless us with much, much more. But we have to just be patient. We have to wait for the time that the Lord decides and dictates. It is time for us to receive that more. Okay. But because right now it's not. Now is not the time. We just have to be patient. As the scriptures say, we just read it in Sirach chapter 2 verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. To be patient. Okay. So yes, there are some struggles going on, and I'm telling you right now. And the thing is, honestly, like it's kind of depressing. I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little depressed in the sense of like, the people that I feel that are going to need to hear these lessons that I'm doing, I don't think that it's going to reach them, because my channel is so freaking small, and I just don't have the reach. All right, like it's so hard, but yet like I'm not like gonna feel discouraged, because one thing that I do know is that at the end of the day, it is up to the Lord to decide. You know what, this is I'm gonna send them your way. I'm gonna put you in their on their radar, set person's radar, in order to see the actual lesson. Okay, because it's very important that some brothers and sisters, get the actual message and whatnot. But I'm still doing my part. I'm trying my best to be as honest as I can be. All right. And I'm also not just honest, but to do my part in terms of doing the work. All right. So Yahawadah, this lesson hits and reaches to those that need to hear it. And if not, then that's just how the Lord set things out to be. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem, YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem, RICANS, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. There is blessings on its way, Israel. And when I say Israel, I mean Israel of the household of faith. The brothers and sisters that are following Yahawah. And with that, I want to say Shalom.